So, I just recently watched Scream 7. I saw a ton of people talking about how bad it was before going in, but I went in with an open mind. Watching the movie, I was not understanding where these people were coming from. I honestly thought it was a really good movie. And then the killers unmasked themselves. And it ruined a lot of not just this movie, but many previous movies. With many Scream movies, I'm usually good at narrowing it down to who I think it is. This movie made it a lot harder to do that, which at first I thought was really cool. I thought they were making it really hard to narrow down who the actual killer was, so the reveal must be something super unexpected. Maybe it actually is Stu. Closer to the end of the movie, I had narrowed it down to Jessica, Ben, and George. But I was very iffy on if Ben was really a suspect at all, because would they really have the boyfriend be a killer 3 times? It was the scene at the cafe that pretty much confirmed to me that one of the killers must be Jessica, because how else would they have known the code to get in? At this point in the movie, Ben is dead, and I am for certain Jessica is one of the killers. By this point, everyone else is dead too, so that leaves just Jessica and George, so I'm dead set on it being these two. I even know what the motive is for George, which I'll touch on later in this video, but I'm happy, I'm content, and I thought I knew who the killers were. Then it happens, they unmask, and we get some random dude we saw one single time. So the actual killers turned out to be Jessica, I was right on that one, but also a doctor from a psych ward we saw like one time that only had a few lines. What kind of stupid reveal was that? I want to touch on George again. I mentioned I knew what his motive would have been. I genuinely thought I had it figured out. As we all know, the killers in these movies are always tied to Sydney in some way. Billy was her boyfriend, Nancy was Billy's mom, Roman was her brother, Jill was her cousin, Richie was dating Sam, who was Billy's daughter, and lastly, Quinn and Ethan are related to Richie. Like, that's how it's always been. So George was the high school theater teacher. Tatum, Sydney's daughter, was in theater, so they had that direct contact. This movie had a lot of AI elements to it. That's the way they brought back Stu. They were using an AI to have him show up on TVs, screens, and stuff like that. The idea I had was that since George was part of theater, part of the arts, I was certain his motive was going to be saying something along the lines of, since AI is trying to destroy his career, he might as well take advantage of it, might as well embrace it. Not only would that work with that type of character, it fits perfectly with Scream as a franchise. I'll be honest and say I don't really know how they would have tied him into Stu, other than the fact he works in a high school and is similar age to Sydney. They could say he knew him or something, but just the AI motive alone is far better than what we got. I don't know, maybe I'm just looking way too much into this, but I feel like they really dropped the ball on this one. When they knew so many people were looking forward to it, especially with the return of Stu. Either way, I'd like to know your opinions on this movie and what you thought of the reveals of the killers in the comments. Until next time, I'll talk to you later. Bye!